subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more videos from Larkins D'Souza.
In this video, I explain one of the most controversial events in the New Testament, Ananias and Sapphira, the original suicide squad. The incident unfolds the following manner. But a certain man named Ananias, with Sapphira his wife, sold a possession, and he kept back part of the proceeds, his wife also being aware of it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. But Peter said, Ananias, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and keep back part of the price of the land for yourself? While it remained, was it not your own? And after it was sold, was it not your own control? Why have you conceived this thing in your heart? You have not lied to men, but to God. Then Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and breathed his last. So great fear came upon all those who heard these things. And a young man arose and wrapped him up, carried him out, and buried him. Now it was about 3 hours later when his wife came in, not knowing what had happened, and Peter answered her, Tell me whether you sold the land for so much. She said, Yes, for so much. Then Peter said to her, How is it that you have agreed together to test the Spirit of the Lord? Look, the feet of those who have buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out. Then immediately she fell down at her feet and breathed her last. And the young man came in and found her dead, and carried her out, buried her by her husband. So great fear came upon all the church and all who heard these things. In this video, we will look at this incident on an historical, spiritual unveiling of the hidden secrets and through a leadership perspective. A bit of backstory of this incident. Christians were being killed in Jerusalem and weren't allowed to trade in the city. So these persecuted people banded together their wealth and started to live together for their own safety. But the church wasn't lacking in anything. At some point, Ananias and Sapphira must have sensed the prosperity among this band of persecuted Jews, these believers called followers of the way, the Christians. These two were clearly not believers. How do we know this? If you read the book of Acts completely, you will notice a believer is always referred to as a certain believer, and an unbeliever is always referred to as a certain man or a certain woman. These two terms are really important to understand this event. Remember, the Holy Spirit convicts the believer of righteousness, not of sin, but to an unbeliever, the people of the world, He will convict them of sin. I have linked the article detailing this in the description below. I would encourage you to check it out. So when Ananias and Sapphira came to cheat the righteous people of God, Peter could not allow it. He had to protect the church that Jesus gave him to protect. Finally, and the most important factor in this incident can be seen through the names of these two people. Ananias in Hebrew means God's grace, and Sapphira, a stone, is a picture of the 10 Commandments. God's grace is holy, and God's law, the 10 Commandments, are holy. But if you mix them or marry them up in a church, the end result will be death. For the longest time, the Christian has been mixing law and grace, mixing 10 Commandments and Jesus, resulting in death in the church. Priests molesting little children, pastors running off with their secretaries. Some of these sins even the people of the world do not commit are being committed in the church. We need more leaders like Peter who say enough is enough, who say no more to mixture of law and grace, no more compromise. It's either grace alone or nothing. It is interesting to know that when people mix law and grace, they have an outward appearance of being a Christian. They look Christian because of religion. This is why people reading the story assume they are Christians when in reality the Bible clearly shows us they are not. For this reason, Peter reacted the way he did. So these are the multiple levels of truth in the story of Ananias and Sapphira, the original suicide squad. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share this video to bless someone who needs it.
Help Larkins D'Souza International Ministries by joining the Patreon community at patreon.com/Larkins. All the links in the description below. We would like to thank our board of directors, Pillars and Mustard Seeds. Because of you, this video was possible.